Guys, if you're still meeting your couples at coffee shops, you're leaving money on the table, and I'm going to tell you why. Today, I'm going to show you how to take control of your wedding cake tastings and book every single client every single time. Hi, I'm Jennifer Williamson, and I help wedding cake makers grow confident, profitable wedding cake businesses using aligned marketing, using smart strategies, and proper communication skills without the guesswork or the stress. So thank you for being here. And if you haven't caught my last video, in that video I show you how to show up professionally in a home-based kitchen, which is where a lot of us started out and a lot of us ended up even. So, which is nothing wrong with a home-based kitchen. It's so wonderful to have that resource now. So catch that video too. Okay, so why do you want to take control of your meetings? The reason why is because it's a presentation. You're not only just selling a product, you are selling yourself as a part of their team. And they may not your couples might not consciously realize that, but that's what they're doing. You're coming together to pull off a presentation, which is their wedding. So if they think they're buying just a cake, they're not. They're buying you too. So you really have to build connection and trust in this process. Okay, so there's a few ways that you can do this. So the first one, like I said, is you want to avoid meeting people in coffee shops or any kind of neutral area. And the reason why, again, it's your presentation. This is your business. So you want to have control of that, and that's going to give you more confidence. Now, I know it's really difficult. A lot of us started out in a home kitchen. I was in a home kitchen for 13 years, a long, long time. Now I just have a very small little commercial kitchen, and it was very difficult. I had a little tasting area in my living room, and I also had a golden retriever, so I had to put him somewhere. And you couldn't cook because the house would smell. It was a whole thing. So I do know that it's really difficult doing this, but if you do have a little private space in your home, that's a great way to meet with people. If you don't have that, what you can do is you can share a space with other wedding professionals. So if you have a planner that you know, or a caterer, or a floral designer or photographer, or somebody that has a little space that maybe you can share, because a lot of them, they don't need that space the whole time anyway. And really, you can do all your tastings in one day and keep it very efficient. So there's so many benefits to this. You can barter this. You can pay a small fee to help them pay their rent or whatever. And the other part that's great about this is it's built-in referrals. So you're building a relationship with the people that you have the space with, and their couples are going to see your presence there as well, and you're going to get referrals from them. So that's a great way to do it. And then lastly, if you do have the resources, you can rent a separate little space. And I know it sounds like it might be expensive, but actually there's a lot of resources out there, a lot of places that have very reasonable little spaces, and you don't need a lot. You just need a little bit of electricity. You can bring everything else there. One of my students in my academy, she did this, and now she's getting ready to move to even a larger space. So it's a great way to start, and it's a great way to really show up professionally. And again, you want to run the show, you want to have the confidence, and you want to be able to present yourself where you feel comfortable and you're in control. And that is going to build trust, like I said, and it's going to build a connection, and you'll end up booking more clients this way. And I will tell you that one of my other students, when she first started, we had a little conference call, and she was saying how she was not booking a lot of her clients. She was booking about half of them. And I said, well, where are you meeting them? She said, well, half I'm meeting at my place, and then half of them I'm meeting in a coffee shop. And I said, is there any correlation between who's hiring you and who isn't? And I knew exactly the answer. And she said, oh my gosh, the ones at the coffee shop did not hire me. So, she shifted that, and she came up with some other solutions, and now she books every single one, and she's like doing amazing. And I'll also tell you another story. When I first started, I think it was like my second wedding cake, I got a referral for, and I thought I was doing the clients a favor by meeting in a coffee shop. And, I had to lug all my stuff there. That's when I had photographs and portfolios, and I brought everything with me. And they ended up not hiring me. And they told me, they said the reason why is because I met them at a coffee shop and it did not seem professional. So I took that right away, and I was like, lesson learned, not doing that again. So, but those are some creative ways. It's really great to collaborate with other wedding professionals to find a space. Okay, and then the second thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you're following a process, meaning you have a beginning, a middle, and an end to your presentation, okay? And again, this is very casual, but you want to greet your clients when they come in, you want to guide them. And again, this gives you confidence and it also gives them confidence in you. And then before I even start talking about cake, we talk about the whole rest of the wedding. And again, I can go through my whole process. This is part of the process that I teach in my Wedding Cake Business Academy to my students, and it's been hugely successful for them too. But when you go down that whole process, you find out who else they're working with, you find out all the things about their wedding, then you can start designing for them. So then when you're going through the tasting process, you interview them, you talk a little bit, you find out, you get their vibe, you get the vibe of the reception, and then you can start designing for them, and then you get into the tasting part, and then you want to make sure you have a closing. So, at the end, I ask if they have any other questions, and at this point I have all the information I need from them. They've tasted the cakes, we've come up with a design. They don't have to give me information like flavor choices at that meeting, because I find it adds a little bit too much stress. All I want them to do at that point is book the date, and then all the rest of the details can be done after. So when they have all that information right there, it's very easy for them to make a decision like, oh yeah, we want you to make our cake, we just don't know the rest of the details yet. So that's when you can close and you can ask for the deposit, and then follow up with the contract and things like that. That way you're doing one meeting, everything in that one meeting. They don't have to think about it after, and they already have the proposal in front of them. So if everything looks good to them and they're already happy because you just built this amazing connection with them, and and they trust you and they like you, and it almost doesn't even matter what the cake tastes like at that point. They're excited to be there. They're ready to book you, and it's stress-free, and you just gave them this amazing experience. So when you have a process that you go through every single time, again, it makes you can be sure that you're not going to forget anything, and you're going to have all the information that you need, and it's just going to offer a really great stress-free experience for them. Okay, so that's the second. And then the third is that you want to lay down all the groundwork before the tasting. And I have a whole process in my program that, what we do is we make sure that your clients are ready to hire you before they've even met you. And this is done through referrals, this is done through great reviews, and this is done through communicating what makes you stand out to your clients. Okay, so this is a little bit of a process. I mean, again, it takes some groundwork. That's why we call it that. And this takes some time, but you want to build up your referrals with other wedding cake professionals. You want to make sure that you have something that stands out about you, and you can communicate that to your clients. And then, also they're going to read reviews and things like that. And what's going to happen, they're going to hear about you from one place, and they're going to hear about you from another place, and then someone's going to refer you, and then they're going to see your beautiful website or your beautiful Instagram post, and you're going to be like, oh my God, that's the one that we want. So by the time they get in to even meet you, they've already decided they trust you, they like you, everyone else likes you. You've already been validated by everyone, and that's when they're going to be ready to book you. And that's what I call it. I call it booking, getting your clients to book you before they even meet with you. And again, this is something else that we cover in my program. So, if you do want to dive deeper into that, I can totally do that too. So that's what I wanted to go over today. So basically what it is you want to make sure that you have a process. You want to make sure that you're going into it with confidence. And when you show that confidence and you show them that you're a professional and this is what you do and you're an expert and you're guiding them to help them, that's where the connection is going to come in. You're going to offer them this amazing experience because you're doing it in person. You're not sending them boxes through the mail where, they just get some cake and they don't know what to do with it. So that's why this is so important. Okay. So if you do resonate, if any of this resonates with you, or you're liking this content and you do want to dive deeper into how to help your business grow through all these marketing strategies that, again, these are not quick tips. These are meant for longevity. I do have my Wedding Cake Business Academy that is launching in August 2025. So if you would like to be on that list, my email is going to be in the description. So you can easily email me and we can have a little quick discovery call, and we can see if you're right for the program. You can see if the program is right for you. But thank you so much for being here, and stay tuned for more tips on how to grow your wedding cake business.